Hello, welcome to Dungeon Girls Podcast. I'm your host Justin. Today we have another found footage horror movie review for you today. This time we're reviewing Creep, a 2014 film's rated R, even though I don't know why it's rated R, to be honest. Not a lot of stuff happens in the movie. It's an hour and 17 minutes. It stars and is directed by Patrick Brice, co-starring Mark Duplass. And I guess this movie is an independent movie. It looks very cheap. The story for this movie is that it's about this guy. I can't even remember his name. No, Aaron, right? Aaron, who is a he's a videographer who saw an ad for saw an ad that somebody put out that to like film this guy for like 8 hours, and you'll get like $1,000 a day or whatever, right? So he goes to meet this guy in this cabin in this mountain town, and the guy, he goes to the place and there's like nobody around, and he goes back in his car to wait to see if the guy shows up. At first he didn't even know it was a guy. He thought it was like lonely, horny 40-year-old 40-year-old man or woman. I'm not 100% sure, because the guy's very soft-spoken, if you know what I mean. Very soft-spoken, soy boy-looking guy. Looks like he would like work for BuzzFeed or something like that. And he gets spooked by Mark Duplass' character. I even forgot the guy's name. Oh, it was Joseph. Yeah, but in the subtitles it was Joseph with an F at the end instead of PH for whatever reason, right? And like right away, the guy is very weird, very weird. He explains that he wants Aaron to film him because he has cancer, he's dying, and he wants his wife is going to have a baby. He's not sure if he's gonna live long enough to see his kid. So he wants to leave behind some video messages, right? Kind of like in that Michael Keaton movie from the 90s with Nicole Kidman called, I think they even talked about the movie in this movie. I think it was called My Life, which I actually saw that movie in high school. And if you ever saw my Crow reviews, both the movie and the comic book review that I did, I talk about this guy who was my arch nemesis in school, who did not look like me at all, except for like we were both kind of like bigger guys, and we were kind of hairy. And that guy who I mentioned in my Crow review that he stole the best costume award at the Halloween dance, which I came to that Halloween dance dressed up as a crow, and he showed up in his what was it it was basically like cadets, Boy Scout. It was like a Boy Scout costume, right? He was in he was in something. It wasn't the Boy Scouts, but it was basically like the Boy Scouts, right? But they made him take off, the cop who was working as the bodyguard for the fucking school dance, made him take it off. So I guess despite the fact that I had the best costume there, because the only other costume there was a girl in a cat girl outfit. They gave the best costume to that guy. When I showed up as the fucking Crow, did the full face paint, wear the black gothic outfit, I had grown my hair long and straightened out to make it look like a J-Rock kind of thing, to make it more look like the comic book. So despite the fact that I put a lot of fucking effort into my fucking costume, this asshole, who is a furry by the way, won the award, right? And when I was in the same class where we saw My Life, right? The Michael Caine movie, and that asshole saw the movie and like cried at the end or whatever, like cried his eyes out, and everybody, rumors were spread that it wasn't him that did it, that it was me that did it, even though I look nothing like this asshole. This guy had a straight up unibrow and a long nose, and people mistook him for me, even though I don't have a long nose and I don't have a unibrow, and like I looked nothing like this asshole, except for we were both like big guys, if you know what I mean, not tall. So it was like, fuck, dude, right? Back to the movie. So yeah, the guy starts filming him, and the guy immediately gets naked and goes in the bathtub and has like a pretend bath time with his imaginary kid, which creeps out Aaron. Then after that, they drive off into the woods to look for some like magic healing spot, looking for this like heart-shaped like rock crevice where there's water in there that's supposed to like have healing properties. The guy pretends like he doesn't know where he is in the woods, and they get lost, and they actually do find it, right? And after that they go to like some restaurant to order pancakes or whatever, and the guy tells him makes him tell a shameful story or whatever, right? And later on he confesses to a fake like rape story where he raped his furry wife, who was the guy fought the guy's found animal bestiality porn, which was very awkward because I was watching this movie with my dog, and then suddenly the Joseph character talks about finding bestiality on his internet history, thinking it was his wife. So he plans this whole thing where he puts on this wolf mask called Peach Fuzz, and breaks in, rapes his wife, which you're not supposed to say the R word on YouTube, but it's like whatever. It sounded consensual to me, but apparently it turns out his wife's not even real. He has a sister named Angela, and our main character finds this out. They have a scuffle because the guy has his fucking keys, right? So there's a scuffle, and the camera turns off, very similar to how cameras will turn off or glitch out when in found footage movies where there's ghosts around. That happens in this movie, and I'm like, what the fuck is that about? After that, the guy Aaron escapes, was able to find his way home. He got his car towed back, and he starts receiving weird packages from Joseph, who sends him weird videos, sends him a package of a knife and this wolf, where he's supposed to kill the wolf because wolves sometimes kills those they love, in that movie Hold the Dark. Where there's a movie Hold the Dark is this movie directed by Jeremy Saunier, however you pronounce his name, who directed movies like Green Room and Murder Party. Really love Green Room, and I watched the movie review for that Hold the Dark, and there's a point where it's about this guy who's a wolf expert who's goes to this town in Alaska to try to find this missing boy who they think was killed by wolves or whatever. And there's this subplot where there's this subplot with how wolves will sometimes eat the weakest of their young to survive. And this asshole I watched this movie review spoiled the whole fucking movie after mentioning that. And it's god damn it. So, which is why I have yet to watch Hold the Dark. Now that I have Netflix and it's on there, it's fuck that asshole. Sorry to go on a random rant, but yeah. So yeah, I'm just saying that the scene in the movie where the guy is being told to kill the stuffed animal wolf cub reminded me of that, like, movie that I never saw because some asshole reviewer decided to, like, spoil the whole movie without no warnings. Okay. Which is what I do in my reviews, but like people know that I do that. Okay. Yeah. So after that, the guy starts filming himself all the time. Aaron does, and he's hearing weird noises at night. Turns out the dude, like, Joseph is breaking into the place, leaving weird videos. Sends him a video telling him, "Hey, come back to the mountain town, so we can reconciliate, right? Have a reconciliation or whatever." And the guy films himself. Sitting on like a park bench, and behind him is Joseph with an axe and the wolf mask. Which there's a scene where, like, the character's obviously a furry, by the way, because there's a scene where he's like, he gets drugged so like Aaron can try to find his car keys, and he starts like whispering peach fuzz, and starts like jacking himself off. So like the character's obviously like a furry, and he kills him, right, with the axe, and then the guy films himself, like, talking about how much he loves Aaron, that he was so trusting, blah blah blah, and he puts the tape with it labeled Aaron on like a shelf where there's other tapes named after people, right? So it's clear like this guy is obviously a serial killer, and he's been killing people, right? Well, and there's a scene where like when Aaron is talking to the sister, like, why didn't the sister? It sounds like the sister knows that this shit's been going on. So why didn't she like fucking like call the cops on her brother or whatever? Because he films the killings apparently. Yes, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of this movie. It was pretty boring. Not a lot of scares. A lot of fake scares where the Mark character will like jump out and scare Aaron. And there are some creepy shit in the movie, but it's the thing with the movie is that a lot of the creepy shit is like shit you've seen in other found footage movies, right? So it's the only like thing about the movie that's original is I guess the premise, but I don't know. I did not like this movie. I'm not a huge fan of Mark Duplass and his mumblecore movies. I've never seen any of his mumblecore movies, but this I imagine they're a lot like this, and I was not a fan of this movie. The one thing, it was short, so it wasn't exactly like hard to watch, and I guess there are some funny things in the movie. I'm giving it like a 5 out of 10. Alright guys. Oh, and we hit 100 subscribers today. Only took us like 6 or 7 months, but we got 100 subscribers. Well, technically we're at 101 right now, but whatever. So I'm going to do something special to celebrate our 100 subs, and I'm going to do a bad movie commentary. If you have any suggestions on what bad movies you want me to do commentary to, let me know in the comments. And that's it, guys. Peace. And try to suggest not too obscure movies, you know what I mean? Because, I gotta try to find them,